I'd like to thank all of you for your best effort and for sending the classwork and the homework for all the things who are used to do it. Yes, yes, my dear. Yes.
Mr.
Something.
Abbas, I didn't finish it. So I didn't send it.
Okay, no problem. Now we are going to complete the same topic by asking the one who finished the body
Mr. I sent it.
and second conclusion. Yes, for the one who sent and I checked, there's no problem. Okay. But if I don't, you are required to read the topic inside our session. Okay. Okay, my dear. Please turn on your cam. Turn on your cam, please. Yes, who finished the whole topic and I didn't check? Yes, Omar, okay. Yes, my dear. Your cam, please, and start,
Mr.
Omar. Your cam, please. All the
Excuse me, Mr.
class,
I've
please
asked,
turn on your cam. You can't open. We don't have. Okay, okay, Omar. Okay.
no, I will open it, but I have wrote yesterday
You have
the
written?
narrative.
Yes,
Yeah,
you have
I have
written.
I wrote it yesterday. I wrote it yesterday, but you didn't check it today.
You wrote it yesterday.
No, the classwork yesterday that you say to us that you have write it. I wrote it, but
Yes.
you didn't check it.
Yes, I check as you see and have just started. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
don't worry. I start from the last one that was sent. Okay. Then I go
Okay.
up to till the last name. Okay. So don't worry from this issue.
Okay.
For this topic, have you
Thank
finished? No.
Yes.
You finished this one? Omar,
Mr. Me, I finished.
Mister?
have you finished this topic about the famous
Not
person?
yet.
Okay, okay. You can finish and I ask you to.
Not yet.
Okay, my dear. Okay. Who finished?
Okay.
Me, Mr.
Amjad?
Yes.
Yes, Amjad. You can start reading. Please turn on your cam if you can, please.
Yes. Dear Ahmed, you won't believe about what happened to me this morning. I see my favorite player, Cristiano Ronaldo, in Steakhouse restaurant. When I was going with my friend to the restaurant and eat with each other the dinner. After a minute, we heard a loud noise with the. Then we came to see what happened.
Amjad, what I want for you, tell me this part is an introduction for example, after you finish reading. And after finishing the second part, tell me this is the body of the letter. Okay, and so on.
Yes.
Okay. Again, please.
Dear Ahmed,
Yes.
I won't believe about what happened to me this morning. I see my favorite player, Cristiano Ronaldo, in Steakhouse restaurant. Mr. This is the introduction.
Excellent. Yes.
When I was going with my friend to the restaurant to eat our dinner with each other, after a minute we heard a loud noise. Then we came to see what happened.
Yes.
We saw Cristiano Ronaldo, everyone taking pictures with him, and we take with him a picture, and
Yes.
everyone was surprised and excited, and there were a crowd of people.
Wait, Amjad, wait. My comment for using the word and please, all of you try to avoid using and. Okay? Don't
Okay.
use it too much. Read the
Okay.
sentence again to tell you what can we do in this sentence. Read it again, please. The sentence that include for and.
We saw Cristiano Ronaldo.
Again,
taking
you saw
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes.
Everyone taking pictures with him. We
And
take with
in
him.
this case, we can use and there is no problem. And everyone
Okay.
talk because we write in the past tense. Yes.
And we talk with him a
Talk
picture.
photo.
Talk photo with him.
Okay, say listen to
Everyone.
me. If you want to increase some words, we can say we took some photos with him. Then for the stop, what else?
Everyone was surprised and excited. And no, there were a crowd of people. Then the security came and started to shout, saying, "Go back to your places." But there was no any benefit of what the security is doing.
Yeah.
After 10 minutes, finally, Cristiano left and everyone came to their tables. Well, I must to tell Omar about all that. Yours, Amjad Firas.
Excellent. Amjad. Have you counted the number of words? Have you counted them?
No, sir, I will count them now.
Okay, listen to me, grade 8. When you finish the first paragraph, at first, this way for counting the number of words. You count the number of words and write the number beside each paragraph. Okay, for example, in the first paragraph, you wrote 25 or 27 words, right beside the paragraph 27 words. Okay, and so on for the rest. You count the number of words in the part of the letter. For example, introduction, body, conclusion. Write the number at the last word or beside the last word of the paragraph. Okay, this will help the examiner to count the number of words, and in this way, the examiner will appreciate your effort because you told him about the numbers of words that you have written. It will be easy for him to be able to check well. Okay. Thanks so much, Amjad. Who else finished? Who else finished? Yes.
Mister, I finished and sent it for you.
Yes,
I
Muhammad.
have to read it or what?
I'm talking about this one.
New one, yeah, Mister?
No, this topic, famous person.
Yes, I finished.
And I checked. Yes, I checked for you, Muhammad. Yes.
It's okay.
Yes, it's okay. Abdurrahman Saad. Abdurrahman Saad.
Mister, what is the least words that I can write it?
Again.
What is the least words that I can write it in the writing?
And the letter between 150 to 200 words. Okay.
Mister, I write it 140.
You can increase the number of words. That's what I asked about. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to increase, you increase in the body, not in the conclusion, because the conclusion must be brief.
Okay.
Okay. With summer, if let's see.
Mister, I finished Abbas.
Okay, someone join us. His name is Soma FA924. Who is he? Who is he? This
Kick
one?
him.
Huh?
If he didn't talk, kick him.
Okay, let's check. He doesn't use any mic. Yes, who are you? Soma F.
Ask him to unmute.
Yes, who?
Yes, Mr. I'm Abdurrahman Saad.
Okay, Abdurrahman, can
Sorry,
you
there
change your
was a
name?
problem with my laptop.
Never mind. Can you change the name, please? You can rename yourself to avoid this problem, okay? The option for you is on to rename your account that's in the Zoom program, okay? You can rename yourself, please.
Mister, I finished Abbas. Do I read mine?
Sub basically.
I named myself.
Yes, okay, Abbas, and then Ahmed Abdullah.
Okay, dear Abdurrahman, you won't believe
Your
what
cam is on,
happened.
Abbas.
Oh, Mister.
Okay.
Okay. Dear Abdurrahman, you won't believe what happened for me today. I hope that you was with me. I
Again,
met
I hope what?
Bandaretta.
I hope what? He?
I hope that you was with me.
You was or you were?
You were.
Yes, take care of this problem, okay? You were, huh?
With
Yes.
me. I
Yes.
met Bandaretta in the restaurant
Huh?
today. I was eating when I saw him entering a restaurant. He sat near our table, and I went for him, and we took pictures with him.
Listen, you can
And he
say,
wrote us a picture for me.
listen, you can say,
on
talk
my
photos, not picture,
t-shirt.
talk,
He
listen.
was making a video for the YouTube,
My dear,
and
listen up, guys. You can say talk photos, not
sir,
picture.
hear me?
Yes, talk photos, not pictures, okay? You can say talk photos. Okay,
The people were trying to take photos with him, and the flashes were coming from the right and the left. He was having his friends with him,
And he was
and
what?
he also gave
Listen to me. He was
what,
what?
Mister?
What you say now? He was
He was
what?
having his friends with him.
He had. You can say he had, not was having. Okay.
Okay, he had friends with him, and he gave everyone a free shawarma and a potato free. He made also a challenge.
Yes. What this challenge?
He made also a
Stop laughing, please, and tell me what you have written. Please, our best, please. Okay. Stop laughing and take a breath, please, and then read. Okay. Yes, my dear.
Mister, someone was making me laugh in the WhatsApp. Sorry.
What's that? Don't reply and pay
We,
attention to me, please. Okay. Yes.
okay. We made a challenge. Who will eat the most amount of shawarma sandwich? And everyone was trying so hard to eat as many they can to win for $5. Mister, and I was the winner. And I got $5
Listen,
and I
listen,
entered the
listen,
YouTube
listen,
channel
listen.
of Bandaretta. Finally, we
Abbas,
went home and I
listen, Abbas, you have the same problem
yes,
of
Mister.
using and. Don't use and too much, please. Okay? Don't use and too
Okay,
much, please.
okay, Mister.
Yes, please stop using it too much.
Okay. Finally, we
Yes,
went
Khalid
home.
Mustafa. Okay, Khalid. Yes. Yes, Abbas, I'm with you.
Mister,
Complete, yes, complete.
Mister,
Complete.
do I say
Yes,
Mister?
you will send on the group, okay?
Okay.
What about conclusion, please? What have you written in the conclusion of this? Yes, Mr. Sorry. Yes.
Mister, you muted me.
Yes, by
Okay,
mistake.
finally, we went home and I said I must share my pictures with everyone and on the social media.
No, I
Your
mean,
friend Abd.
no, this is not acceptable for your conclusion. As we said, for the conclusion, what can you write? You can say, for example, this example for conclusion. Don't you wish being there when you would be there, must dash to see if there's anything about it on the local news. This is not one, but you can, it's one of the conclusion. But the one that is related to your topic, you can say, for example, I must dash as some sense of this conclusion. I must dash to tell, for example, tell my brother what happened to me, or to tell my uncle what happened to me. Okay, yes. Your
Okay.
conclusion must be brief, must be short. Okay,
Okay.
and you must
Mister, can you
write,
show us the
separate
conclusion,
your
Mister?
topics. Conclusion, yes, my dear. For the conclusion, you can write one of these points. Well, I must dash now. I've got to tell Sam all about it, or to tell my uncle all about it. Well, I must go now. I want to call Sarah and tell her the news. Looking back, I think it was probably one of the happiest moments I can ever remember. This one can be suitable for the topic that we are writing. Yes? You agree with me? You agree with me for this one?
Yes.
This one
Yes,
can be
Mister.
the most suitable if you want to write. Okay, looking, I think it was probably one of the happiest moments I can ever remember. Ahmed Abdullah, thanks Abbas. Ahmed Abdullah has just joined again. Yes, Ahmed Abdullah. Really sorry for this noise and this sound as you can hear. Sorry. Sorry, I mean the Okay, sorry. Yes, Ahmed.
Sorry, Mr. My computer froze.
Never mind, Ahmed. Can you read what you have done, please?
Yes, Mr. Dear Omar,
Yes.
Dear Omar, you won't believe what I saw today in a supermarket, or you must right restaurant, right
Yes.
restaurant,
Yes.
restaurant.
Yes.
I saw my favorite player, and it was Muhammad Salah. We saw Muhammad Salah, and all the people in the place start to take pics and photos, and it was very regular store.
Wait, don't
Then,
use N too much, please. Okay, avoid using the N.
okay, Mr.
Yes. Yes,
Then
continue.
we go to play in a playground with him. We played, and it was very fun
Wait,
until he finished playing.
Ahmed.
Yes, Mr.
When can you stop for the body for the introduction? The introduction. Read it again and tell me this part is the introduction, please.
Okay, Mr.
Hmm.
Dear
Read
Omar,
it.
you won't
Yes.
believe what happened. What
Yes.
happened yesterday with me? This is the introduction, Mr.
Yes, I'm with you. Huh?
Yes, we saw Muhammad Salah, and all the people in the place start to take pics, and it was one
Take
of
what? Take what?
take pics.
You can use the word
Pictures.
photo. I mean pictures. You can use the word
Yes,
photos.
I wrote Mr. Pics and photos.
The same meaning. So you need
Yes.
to write this, write photos, okay? Because you take
Yeah.
photos with camera. Yes, with camera.
Yeah.
There is a difference between picture and photo. Okay. Picture can be drawn. Photo can be through the cam, so it can be in an automatic way. Okay.
Okay.
So,
They start to take photos, and it was very regular store.
yes.
Then we go to play in a playground with him. We played at it, and it was fun until until he finished playing and left. Then we all left to our homes, and then I was writing the letter. And I hope that you were with me.
This all the topic,
Yes, Mr. I didn't finish it all, yani.
but I think it's a very little. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So please try to increase the number of words and try to add some ideas for the body. Okay, to increase the number
Okay.
of words. Okay. Thanks so much. Yeah. Who else? Can select Muhammad Medhat. Muhammad Medhat last session don't reply, so I ask you are absent. What about this session?
Mr.
Muhammad Medhat. Muhammad Medhat.
Should I finish? Can I say?
Who?
Yes, Prophet.
Okay, Joe. Yes, you can start.
Dear Tom, you won't believe what happened to me a few months ago. I saw a famous person in a restaurant that was non-stop. I was with my friend Muhammad going to famous restaurant that named 21st Street. As we enter, we saw a lot of people in the restaurant shouting with high voice as they saw Tony Stark. When we saw Tony, we were too happy to meet him. Everybody wanted his signature as we took his signature and the
Wait,
photos.
Yusuf, wait. Please read it and tell me the part. This part is the introduction, and after I finish the introduction, tell me that this part is body. Okay. I'd like to read from you this part, please.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Read from the first or no?
Introduction. Yes. Introduction again.
Okay. Mr. The introduction is Dear Tom, you won't believe what happened to me a few moments ago. I saw a famous person in a restaurant that was Tony Stark. Till here is the introduction.
Okay. Yes. Is the next part the body?
The body, okay. The body from here. I was with my friend Muhammad going to a famous restaurant that called 21st Street. As we enter at the noon, we saw a lot of people in the restaurant shouting with high voice as they saw Tony Stark. When we see Tony, we were too happy to meet him. Everybody wanted his signature. We also took his signature and photos with him.
Yes.
When we went to go out from the restaurant, it was too full and was hard to move out. When we got out, we saw our friend Ahmed and told him about everything. He was upset that he didn't saw Tony, but was happy for us. We returned home and we told everybody about it. I hope that you were there. Mr. Talhir is the body.
Yes, thanks so much.
Uh,
What about
anyway,
the conclusion?
Okay, conclusion. Anyways, I must dash now. I've got to tell Omar all about it. Your friend Yusuf Talhir, conclusion.
Excellent. This Prophet. This is your name. This Prophet Ahmed. Yes.
Yes.
Well done, Yusuf. Thanks so much, Yusuf. But
Sir,
what I want from you to count the number of words and write the number beside your
sir,
paragraphs.
overall 150 word.
Excellent.
Mr. Can you show us the
But
conclusion again, Mr.?
please, when you finish, okay, by the end of each paragraph, for example, if we imagine this new topic, if we imagine, we can write here beside the end of the topic, we can write the number of words, okay, maybe 20 words, 30 words, you can write here, okay, to count the
Okay.
number of words that you have read. Thanks so much, Yusuf.
Welcome.
Yusuf,
Mr.
Romeo,
Can you show us the conclusion, Mr.?
conclusion. Okay, I'll show you now.
Yes, yes,
For
Mr.
this file, don't worry. For this file, I think yesterday. Have you received on the group? That's group, the group of
Yes,
the
Mr.
class. Have you received it? You can
Yes,
find
Mr.
everything that you want. If you read this part, you'll find how can you write the body, sorry, the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Okay, for the conclusion, I'll show you again. Yes, this for the conclusion, okay? We have three ways by saying, well, I must dash now, I have got to tell saying all about it. Well, I must go now. I want to call Sarah and tell her the news. I think it was probably one of the happiest moments I can ever remember. Okay. Yes, Omar. Ahmed. Yes.
Yes, Mr. I finished.
Finished? Okay.
Yes.
Read this and tell me that this part of the paragraph, this part is
Okay.
the introduction, the body, and so on. Okay. Yes.
Yes. First, I will start with the greeting, dear Muhammad. Then the introduction is like that.
Yes.
You will not believe what happened when I went to restaurant yesterday. I met Elon Musk, Tesla owner. Until here, I finished
Yes.
the introduction.
Excellent.
Then I
Yes.
start with the body. I went
Yes.
yesterday with my friends Ali and Ahmed to Applebee's restaurant. As you know, it was Alice's birthday, and our families came. But they were sitting away from us. We started ordering, but my father, as usual, as you know, he ordered me the food that I didn't love it. But I can't say anything. We started eating, but I ate only salad. After 20 minutes, we saw people getting out of the restaurant. We didn't understand what is going on. I tried to get out, but my mother, she was afraid of me. I was sad because I didn't see what's going while my friends were out. I slept from my mother and got out to see what's going out. I was shocked to see that he was Techno King. Mister, this is the nickname for Elon. It's
Yes.
Techno King. I was so happy to see the co-founder and the CEO of the most and the best advanced car companies in the USA. I tried to get a photo through all those people, but it was hard, as you know. After hard times, I took a photo with and a photograph, but I didn't finish as I want. My mother saw me and I was punished. I wish that you were with us. I think that was probably one of the most happiest moments I can ever. And then yours, Omar.
Yes, if, again for the conclusion, what you have written again, please.
I think
Conclusion.
it was probably one of the happiest moments I can ever remember.
Excellent, Omar. Thanks so much, Omar. Thanks so much. Okay, who else? We have about 4 minutes. Who else?
Mr.
Me, Mr.
Me,
Mr.
me
Can I
is
say,
from
Mr.?
the list.
Mr. Can I say I'm Adnan, Mr.
Sorry, Muhammad Mirhat told me that he has a problem with the mic, but I found that in the last session he was replying to Mrs. Ines. What is problem, Muhammad Mirhat? What's your problem, Muhammad Mirhat, please? Muhammad Mirhat. Use the chatting if you can speak. But I hear your voice when you are participating with Mrs. Ines in the session of business planning. Yes, Muhammad. What's your problem, Muhammad? Where is he? Muhammad Midhat. Muhammad Midhat, what's your problem? Last session, I saw that you were participating with Mrs. Lamis. What's your problem with Mrs. Ines? What's your problem? Tell me, Muhammad, please. Okay, write the topic, Muhammad, and send on the WhatsApp now, Muhammad. Muhammad, Muhammad
Sir,
Rada.
I'm Yusuf from Can I read?
You sent to me, Yusuf, yes?
Yes, but it was yesterday's class work.
I know,
I
I
finished
know, I know. But I'd like to, from the other to participate, okay? So I don't ask you too much because I know that you do that you know what you want, so you do what I ask from you. But I'm talking about the other students. Okay,
Okay, Mr. Now I will send it in the group.
thanks so much, Yusuf. Muhammad Rida.
Sir, I finished
Rida.
mine. I don't think I can say it in front. No,
Oh.
but I'll send it on the group, okay?
Simon?
Finished mine and I sent it.
Okay, my request also, please
But I
don't
didn't
send to me a PDF file or a Word file. It would be difficult for me to check in this way, please. Send photo like the other. It would be simple for me to write my comments, please. Okay.
I send the PDF when I make more than one page.
Yes, please, please, no need for PDF file. Okay. Copy it with your handwriting and send to me. Because I'd like to recognize in your handwriting, please.
Mr. Can I send it after school?
Mr. I sent mine, but I didn't
Okay, no
read.
problem. After school, no problem. Okay.
Mr.
Yes.
Who told this topic in the period you must send the topic
Yes,
on the group?
all of you must send. Okay, well, you have to send the topic. Okay. Even you read what you have written. You can select. I said Muhammad Rida, Muhammad Islam, Muhammad Rida for the second time. He didn't reply to me. Okay, Muhammad Islam. Muhammad
Right for you, Mr. on the private
absent.
chat.
Yes, absent. Yes, he's absent.
Muhammad Rida, Muhammad Riyad.
Yes, Muhammad Riyad. Muhammad Riyad.
Yes, Mr.
Yes, mister. Why don't participate with us? What you have written? What about that you have written? What about about your topic, Muhammad Riyad? Have you written anything, Muhammad Riyad? Muhammad Riyad.
Yes, Mr. I'm still.
Speak up, please, and raise your voice. Have you written anything?
Yes, Mr.
Can you
I'm
read?
still writing.
Still writing. I think that you didn't write. I can't believe in this way. Send me now if you write.
Mr. I sent mine, but I didn't read. Can I read now or no? Or we don't have time?
Don't have time, so it's now 12. Okay, supposed to end the meeting. Muhammad, sorry, Muhammad Riyad, send me your topic now, please. Great. Do you have any problem in this topic, narrative letter?
Mr. I just have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have to write another conclusion after in the end at the end of the writing?
Another conclusion? How another conclusion?
At the end.
At the end, only one. It must be brief. Okay. We can
That
write
example,
one of
I
the
wrote,
3 points that you can see in front of you, this one or this or the last one. According to the topic that you can find is suitable with your topic. For our
okay,
topic, I think that this one will be the most suitable. Yes.
yes.
So according to the topic, you can write one of them. Don't
But Mr.
decrease in the conclusion. As I said, we need to be conclusion. The conclusion will need to be very brief.
I in the last one, I think that I would be happier if you were with me. That this one can be.
It can be, no problem. As we said, but our issue, it must be very brief. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks so much, great. Do you have any other question?
No, thank you.
No, Mr. Thank you.
You understood how can you write the narrative letter?
Yes. Thank
What
you.
we had, this is for last year, grade 7. But as I told you, I'd like to start with you in a new way and in a clean way. For me, I mean that you are required to know everything about writing. This will help the one who join IG system. Okay, so do your best and study hard. And if you have any question, don't be hesitated. Thanks so much, my dear, and goodbye.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr.